Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa to Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. As we have seen the reports in the mainstream media, there is a great hysteria and scaremongering going on throughout the international media, trying to scare the entire world into submission and into accepting lockdown and its tyranny. In the past month, there has been a great pushback throughout the world against lockdown and the misery and the authoritarianism which lockdown brings through, and to scare people one more time, just like they did originally in Wuhan. The people are being manipulated through mainstream media, and there is an effort being made today to justify the coming lockdowns throughout the world and use India as a scare tactic to for the entire world to accept this lockdown. We have to understand this is the same policy they used in Wuhan, and the entire same reporting style which they used in Wuhan and China to make us accept the first lockdown. And this is exactly the same policy they are using today to scare us, to terrify us into accepting more tyranny and giving up our fundamental human rights. Secondly, the reality of situation in India, we have to realize the Indian fascist regime has fundamentally tried its best. Firstly, there is no doubt that the corruption in that country has led to the collapse of the entire medical system, and we are seeing signs of that throughout the media, and that is partly correct. But the real problem which India is facing today is the systematic attack on the food supply which has been taking place in India, especially the poorest states in India. That would be Bihar, UP, and Maharashtra, and the central Indian states. And the problem there is the Indian government has systematically attacked independent food growers, where the crops have been burnt and the harvest has been deliberately destroyed and rotten in the rain on a deliberate plan. And we have seen the Indian regime, the fascist Indian regime, systematically removing food from local food supply to a degree that there is only indigenous food supply within each state which is being left at the moment. It's only the local farmers and local food suppliers which are putting food on people's table. But this fascist regime has an agenda which is becoming more and more clear, and that is to starve the people of India to death. And that must be understood. This lockdown and this hysteria, it is adding up and moving towards a catastrophe. That catastrophe is mass starvation. We have seen this exact same plan in Africa, in Congo especially, and it's been exactly same way replicated now in India. The fascist and the corrupt Indian regime has systematically taken over the food supply, and they are removing food, destroying food, destroying crops, and destroying farmers. And their aim remains to starve the people of India to death. And their agenda is same as before, and that's depopulation. The farmers' agitation, led by the Punjabi farmers, which is happening in the Indian capital, and the farmers have surrounded the capital. We have to understand that is the last stand of humanity against this fascist onslaught, which seeks to commit genocide in that entire region. We have to be aware that there is a fascist regime which is working day in and day out on a systematic plan to starve the entire population of that country to their death. This is their agenda. We need to wake up, and we need to show our support to the Punjabi farmers and their struggle, against this fascist regime. And secondly, we have to make sure we don't fall for the same propaganda that we did from the last time at the Wuhan incident. This is sheer propaganda. There's no truth to it. The reality is we have a corrupt fascist Indian regime which is willing to slaughter its own people. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.